Thank you very much for the introduction. So I will start with just 2 slides to position the activity we will be speaking of and hand over quickly the word to Fabrizio, who is really going to show the value proposition that we have developed together. So we are supplying this project and delivering to ACEA through our energy and utility activity within the ATOS group. So you have the ID card of ATOS in this slide. I will not insist on it, it's just for general information. And in the energy and utility space, to build on the introduction that was just made, we have been developing for decades, actually, a strategy to develop IT and OT solutions dedicated to the energy and utility sector with the mind of developing business value, adding the business knowledge that was highlighted by you in the introduction along the value chain, so which means generation, transmission and distribution, and the retail of electricity and gas. So we will be in this space in the presentation that Fabrizio will provide to you in a very new way to develop, renew, modernize, and develop some agile customer relation services through digital solutions. So Fabrizio, if you like, I give you the word with pleasure.
Thank you, Frank. Good afternoon, everybody. In order to have a deeper understanding on the reason why we have decided to implement a new digital platform to accelerate our meter-to-cash profit, let me provide you a quick overview of the market where ACEA Energy operates in Italy. So, basically, considering both the regulated and unregulated market, there are 57 million points of delivery, considering both energy and gas. There are more than 500 market players with the 85% of customers focused on the top 10. And despite the market is completely deregulated since several years, there are 60% of residential customers that are still on the regulated market. So, which are the main trends of this market? First of all, the regulation. In Italy, the electricity market has been completely deregulated since 2007, and just in this month, the regulator is going to approach the end of this market with rules not yet clearly defined. So this is an opportunity for us for the next year, but it could be risky at the same time because for operator that operates in the regulated market as well. The second trend is customer experience evolution. This means that the customer is becoming more demanding, starting and improving its needs and start asking for a new offering based on extra commodity services as well. For sure, another trend is market consolidation. As said before, the market is very segmented, and with small market player progressively decreasing, and this means providing opportunity to acquisition. And the last trend is smart services approach that is replacing the old commodity-based approach in terms of several products different from the commodity that are required to be offered to the end customer. So, in this context, in order to maintain a competitive position, it's very important to have a reliable meter-to-cash process in order both to support new services and to provide the right experience to the customer. And this is the reason why we decided to speed it up the decision to implement a new billing and credit management system leveraging the S/4HANA technology. So, which were the key challenges we needed to face? First, was increment the daily flows of bills by improving performance to issue invoicing. The performance of the old system was not more acceptable to work in this market. The second one was optimized cash flow by closing monthly billing process early with the related benefit to have early due date invoices. And the last one is higher penetration in the deregulated market to increase the customer base, above all considering the regulatory scenario that we are going to face next year. So, we started the project. We went live in June 2019, and after 5 months of operation of the new system, we can analyze which were the main success factors that led this project to be a success story. So, first of all, for sure, it was right timing. So the project started in November 2018, and so it lasted 7 months. 7 months is the right trade-off between a fast implementation project and a low-risk implementation project. The second success factor was that in parallel to the project, we have implemented a lot of functionalities, mainly due to regulation constraints as well as business needs that needed to be mirrored and tested on the old system. And this means for sure was performed considering a waves approach that allow us just to limit to 1 month the freezing period. Then, as third success factor was that the adoption of diagnostic and migration tool at the beginning of the project allows us just to identify clearly the main functionalities impacted, addressing the functional and technical changes, and designing efficiently the user acceptance test. And the last one, for sure, last but not least, is a strong team, leveraging Energia key stakeholders, both business and IT, and a win-win partnership between SAP, and on the technical side, and ATOS, a system integrator, on the functional side. So, in conclusion, having in mind which were the key challenges we needed to face, and considering the first 5 months of operation, we can clearly state that we have achieved the following benefit. First of all, meter-to-cash performance improvement. So we have improved meter-to-cash invoices throughput that has allowed just to have more time to work errors, increasing the quality of consumption billed, and to reduce the number of not billed point of delivery. The second was cash flow optimization, having reduced time from meter readings availability to invoice delivery. The third one was customer-based growth enablement. The new platform has made us confident in managing an increase in customer base, also due to the regulation scenario that we are going to change for sure next year. And about benefit that we are going to get in the next future, for sure there is the credit manager process engineering, leveraging the new platform capability. In particular, we are trying to redefine the Danny strategy using the scoring risk and the average delay payment of the customer to define the right strategy for each customer, enabling also some new channel to communicate with the customer in order to improve timing to credit recovery. That's all.
Thanks a lot, Fabrizio. I think we are right in the timing, so just a few words of conclusion to put it back, this experience into the overall, what we call data-driven utility, and again, coming back to the topic of this workshop around what we can bring to the business of our energy and utility customers through data-driven applications. So you have here very, very general presentation of all the points in the value chain in which we develop and provide solutions to our customers on a global basis. And again, the use case that was just presented to you, very recent, is a very, very good example of where to introduce a new digital solution to power, to create a new power in the engine of the customer, based on which there will be business value developed directly on this function, but also, and this is also what we like to show in this slide, in the ability to connect together several systems beyond their initial use. And I think this is coming back to what you said as well in the introduction, we believe that a lot of the energy transition, not only the digital aspect of it, but the transition itself, especially development of renewable, of completely interconnected peer-to-peer communication between ENU players together, will come from using the data where they are, optimizing the processes of those data, but also creating links that do not exist, that could not exist before introducing digital in those places of our business customers to develop new services and new business processes within the utilities and between them. So that's what we develop through this approach and through our portfolio approach. And I think that's the last slide we have in our presentation. Thank you for listening.
We are very well in time, so we can open the audience for a question or two. Anyone with a question? No question? Okay, then I have one. You were putting it into the context of SAP HANA, and this is a big buzzword in the industry. So maybe you can give one sentence. What's special about that, and especially in this solution? Is it the speed, or? Okay, bad question. What is so? It's because you introduced it as an SAP HANA. Solution. So what was special about the HANA in that? Because it's a big buzzword. So is it the speed? Is it okay? I think you need to use that microphone.
Yes, for sure. Considering also what I have explained during the presentation, I think that I can provide you the key figures that has allowed us just to improve our performance based on SAP HANA. First of all, we had the invoice throughput has been increased by 1,200%. So moving from 3,300 invoices per hour to 40 invoices per hour. So the second was that we were able just to modify our calendar, billing calendar, in order to close it 3-4 days before, with a relative benefit to have early due dates of the invoices. And the last one was that in general the improved performance of the system has allowed the end user to have more time to work errors. For example, after the massive process like meter reading uploads, that means that led to an increase of the quality of the consumption billed, and for sure an increasingly reduction of not billed point of delivery, having end user more time to focus on the errors.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions? Okay, none. Then thank you very much. It was very interesting.